أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum. I wanted to make a short video for all of you guys in regards to the 15th of Sha'ban. Many people are saying many different things, and as Muslims we should be people of knowledge, because this religion is the religion of knowledge, and inshallah that means that we should all be seeking out knowledge as well. And therefore I'm going to answer three specific questions in this video. The first one: should we visit the graveyard on the 15th of Sha'ban? Should we worship Allah even more on the 15th Sha'ban? And should we fast on the 15th of Sha'ban as well? And we start off with, should we visit the graveyard on the 15th Sha'ban? And Imam Tirmidhi reports that when the Prophet ﷺ was staying with Aisha radiallahu anhu, that she noticed that he wasn't there, so she went out searching for him sallallahu alaihi wasallam and found him at the graveyard of Baqi. And when she went to him, he said, "Verily, Allah the Exalted and Glorious comes down to the heaven of the world in the middle night of Sha'ban and forgives sins even more abundant than the hair of the goats of Qalb." And that is a tribe that had many, many goats. They were known for this. And it was to emphasize the point that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives many, many sins on this night. Now, this hadith in itself is actually a weak hadith. However, there is another hadith that people talk about, which is a stronger hadith, where Jibreel alayhi salam commands the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam to go to Baqi and make dua. And this also happens from the house of Aisha radiallahu anhu, but there isn't a mention of the 15th of Sha'ban in that specific hadith, the stronger one. Therefore, what we can take from here, perhaps, is that the Prophet ﷺ visited Baqi on the 15th of Sha'ban, but we cannot say that this is something that people have to do, go and visit a graveyard on a yearly basis on the 15th of Sha'ban. We know that the Prophet ﷺ would generally visit the graveyard. He had that connection with it, and therefore we should ensure that we also have that connection and we go and visit the inhabitants of the graveyard as well, inshallah. Second question: should we do extra worship to Allah on the 15th of Sha'ban? Now, there are many, many hadith that recommend specific types of worship in Sha'ban. However, they are all weak hadith. There's many, many weak hadith out there. But with weak hadith, the way they work is that if there are many, many weak hadith, what happens is they become strengthened with each other. Together, when they're put together, they become strengthened. Therefore, we can conclude on this that it is recommended to worship on the 15th Sha'ban. We cannot say specific things that it is strong to say you have to do such and such a type of worship. However, it is definitely recommended that we do extra worship on the 15th Sha'ban. Should we fast on the 15th Sha'ban? Now, as we've said, there are individual hadith, there are weak hadith pointing towards specific acts of worship, such as dhikr and Quran recitation and fasting. Individually, they may be weak, but we know that put together, it is recommended, highly recommended, that we do extra worship on the 15th Sha'ban. And in our current climate, where our community is in need of du'as, the 15th of Sha'ban is definitely an opportunity that all of us should take to commit to extra acts of worship in this time. Therefore, it might be that you put a plan together for yourself, so when the evening of the 15th of Sha'ban comes, you do extra du'as, you do more du'as than you would normally do. You do dhikr, lots of dhikr, remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You read extra amounts of Quran. You read more than what you normally would, and you make an intention, inshallah, that you will fast on the day of Sha'ban as well. Inshallah, that answers some of your questions. Please do remember our community in your du'as. and myself as well. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.